Hello there, welcome to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. Hope everyone's doing well. This is episode 168, and this time out we are at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California for game number 58 of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament, which has the 1962 San Francisco Giants hosting the 1965 Minnesota Twins. Before we get to the starting lineups, here's what the Hill looks like. Giants at 7-5, got themselves right back into the mix of things. Twins would like to get the 500 and get this tournament to Minnesota. And we have the 1961 Reds on deck with the 1961 Detroit Tigers in the hole. All right. Today's starting lineups. First for the visiting 1965 Minnesota Twins. Leading off at shortstop, Zoilo Versalles. Batting second in center field, Jimmy Hall. Batting third in right field, Tony Oliva. Batting fourth, playing third base, is Harmon Killebrew. Batting fifth in left field, Bob Allison. Batting sixth, catcher Earl Batty. Batting seventh, Don Mincher. He's at first base. Batting eighth, Jerry Kindle. He's at second. Batting ninth and pitching is Jim Kaat. In 1965, he was 18-11 with a 2.83 ERA, 264 innings pitched. He's a number 4 hitting pitcher, so that card goes into the lineup for him. Next, we have the current Kings, the 1962 San Francisco Giants, leading off in left field, Harvey Keene. Batting second, second baseman Chuck Hiller. Batting third, Felipe Alou. He's in right field. Batting fourth, center fielder Willie Mays. Batting fifth, first baseman Orlando Cepeda. Batting sixth, Jim Davenport. He's at third base. Batting seventh is catcher Tom Haller. Batting eighth, shortstop Jose Pagan. And on the hill and batting ninth is Jack Sanford. In 1962, he was 24-7 with a 3.43 ERA, 265 innings pitched. He is a number 2 hitting pitcher. So we'll place that in the lineup for him. And then we'll be ready to get underway. So Sanford takes the mound. Versalles is in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. That's a ground ball to third baseman Jim Davenport over to Orlando Cepeda. And the first batter is retired here in the top of the first. That's going to bring up Jimmy Hall. Here's the pitch from Sanford. It's a fly ball to center fielder Willie Mays. It is an X check. Mays is a 1. And we roll a 17. And a shoestring catch by Mays out there is out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. And right fielder Tony Oliva. Pitch from Sanford. It's a fly ball to left field. That's going to send Harvey Keene back to the track where he makes the catch. And the Twins go 1-2-3. So with 1/2 inning in the books, it's the Twins nothing. Giants coming up to bat. And Jack Sanford gets his first fatigue point. Jim Kaat on the mound for the Twins. First batter he's going to face is Harvey Keene. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to left field. It's an X check for Bob Allison, and he's a 3. We roll a 12. And that falls in front of Allison for a base hit. And he boots it out there. That's going to allow Keene to advance to second on the E7. And that's an error for Minnesota. So the Giants have their leadoff man in scoring position with Chuck Hiller coming up to bat. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless. Here's the pitch from Kaat. And that's a base hit. Let's check Keene's running. He's a 1-13. He's going to be held up at third, as that was hit into shallow center field. Good defense by Jimmy Hall. So it's second and third for the Giants with nobody out, and Felipe Alou. Kaat in trouble early. Here's the pitch. And that's going to score a run. Another base hit for the Giants. That brings Hiller home. Or excuse me, that brings Keene home. Hiller moves to third. Excuse me, Hiller moves to second, and he's going to hold there. And Jim Kaat picks up a fatigue point, and Giants lead 1-0. So it's second and third, still nobody out, and Willie Mays. There's some movement already out there in the Twins bullpen. Here's the pitch to Mays. It's a ground ball to shortstop. It's going to be an X-check. Now the infield is at normal depth. And Versalis is a 2. We roll a 14. Okay, so Versalis goes to Kindle and then over to Don Mincher for the 6-4-3 double play. But that allows Hiller to score, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Giants. Kaat gets his second fatigue point. So 2 outs, nobody on. Giants lead 2-0. And Orlando Cepeda, here's the pitch. It's another base hit. 4th hit this inning for the Giants, all singles. So Cepeda's on first with 2 outs. And third baseman Jim Davenport. Pitch from Kaat. It's a fly ball to deep center field. That is sending Jimmy Hall back to the track, to the wall. It's off the wall. Davenport cruises into second with a stand-up double. Cepeda moves to third. Let's check his running. He's getting waved around. He's a 1-15 with 2 outs. Here's the throw from Hall, and he is safe. And it's now 3-0 in favor of the Giants. 2 outs. Kaat gets his third fatigue point. So as I mentioned, 2 outs with Davenport on second and catcher Tom Haller. Here's the pitch from Kaat. And that's a ground ball to first base. Don Mincher's going to take that unassisted for the 3rd out. But the Giants score 3 on 4 hits. And with 1 in the books, it's the Giants 3 and the Twins 0. Jim Kaat picks up his 4th fatigue point. Top of the second is going to be Harm Killebrew leading off for the Twins. They trail 3-0. Pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball back to Sanford. He jogs towards first base. Tosses to Orlando Cepeda. And there's 1 away. 1 out, nobody on for left fielder Bob Allison. Pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to shortstop Jose Pagan over to Orlando Cepeda. 6-3, put out, and 2 away. 2 outs and the base is empty for catcher Earl Batty. Giants lead 3-0. Here's the pitch. It's low and outside, and Batty draws the 2-out walk. So, man on first with 2 outs for the Twins, and Don Mincher, first baseman. Pitch. Ground ball to second baseman. Hiller over to Cepeda. And that's it for the Twins. No runs on no hits. They leave a man on first, and after 1.5, it is the Giants 3 and the Twins nothing. Sanford picks up his second fatigue point. We go to the bottom of the second. And leading off for the Giants will be Jose Pagan. Pitch from Kaat. Hits this one into the left center gap. Jimmy Hall's the first one to get to it, but not before Pagan slides into second base with a leadoff double. Brings up pitcher Jack Sanford. Pitch from Kaat. Sanford squares around the bunt. That rolls down the first base line, and it allows Pagan to move to third before the 2-3 putout. Batty to Mincher. Retires 1. So Pagan's on third with 1 out. Excuse me, we're back to the top of the order, and Harvey Keene, who is 1 for 1 with a run scored. Pitch from Kaat. It's a fly ball to left field. Bob Allison is under that. And it's going to be deep enough for Pagan to tag up. So Sanford's sacrifice bunt pays off, and it's now 4-0 in favor of the Giants. Kaat gets fatigue point number 5. So 2 outs, nobody on, 4-0 Giants. Chuck Hiller. Inside, and he draws the 2-out walk. Trots down to first base. Brings up Felipe Alou. Singled his first time up. Here's the pitch. Make that 2 for 2 for Alou. Hiller with a good jump gets over to third, and it's runners on the corners with 2 outs. For Willie Mays with the Giants leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. Pitch from Kaat. And this is trouble. Mays hits one off the wall out in left center. That allows Hiller to score. Mays cruises into second, and Alou is held up in third. There's runners on the corners with 2 outs, and it's now 5-0 in favor of the Giants. You have to excuse this frog in my throat. 5-0 Giants lead, 2 outs, and there is definite activity out there in the Twins bullpen. And it's going to be Dave Boswell warming up for Minnesota. All right, Orlando Cepeda with runners on second and third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. This one's going to stay in the infield. And Kindle's under that, makes the catch. And the side is finally retired, but not before the Giants pick up 2 more runs. On 2 hits. And after 2 innings, they lead 5-0. Jim Kaat gets fatigue point number 7. So we go to the top of the third. Leading off will be Jerry Kindle. followed by the pitcher's spot. Not sure if Kaat's going to bat. And then we'll be back to the top of the order. But first, here's the pitch from Sanford. And that's a leadoff walk for Kindle. Trots down to first base. And that's going to be it for Jim Kaat. He's getting called. We'll leave that there. Back, he's getting called back for a pinch hitter, and that's going to be Sandy Valdespino. All right, runner on first, nobody out. Valdespino, pinch hitter. Pitch from Sanford. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 1 for Sanford. And the first out here in the top of the first. So we're back to the top of the order in Zolo Versalis. Here's the pitch. Versalis hits this one off the wall out in center field. Cruises into second with the stand-up double. Kindle moves to third. He's going to be held there. So it's second and third with 1 out. And Jimmy Hall, who is 0 for 1. Giants at normal depth. Here's the pitch. This one's going to stay in the infield. Orlando Cepeda is under that. Makes the catch for the second out. So now it's runners on second and third with 2 outs for Tony Oliva. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout to end the inning. Got him looking. Second strikeout for Sanford gets him out of the jam. Twins threaten but can't get anyone across. And after 2.5, it's the Giants 5 and the Twins nothing. Sanford gets his third fatigue point. As we mentioned, Jim Kaat's day is done, and Dave Boswell is going to be the new pitcher for the Twins. In 1965, he was 6-5 with a 3.40 ERA, 106 innings pitched. And he's going to face Jim Davenport first here. All right. Let's get Boswell's name here in the lineup. All right, pitch to Davenport. It's a ground ball to shortstop. It's the next check for Zoilo Versalis. He's a 2, and we roll a 3. Nice play by Versalis over there. And Davenport's retired on a 6-3 put out. So, 1 out, nobody on. Tom Haller, Giants catcher. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from Boswell. Haller gets a hold of this one, and that sends Bob Allison back to the track, to the wall, where he makes the catch for out number 2. A long, loud second out. And there's nobody on with 2 outs for Jose Pagan. Pitch. This one's going to stay in the infield. Killebrew's over there at third base, calls everyone off, makes the catch. And the Giants go 1, 2, 3. So 3 innings complete. And the Giants lead 5-0. Dave Boswell gets his first fatigue point. And we go to the top of the 4th. Jack Sanford's going to face Harmon Killebrew, followed by Bob Allison and Earl Batty. Pitch from Sanford to Killebrew. It's a ground ball to third base. That's Jim Davenport over to Orlando Cepeda, and there's 1 away. So 1 out, nobody on. And Twins left fielder Bob Allison. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Pagan over to Cepeda. And they get Allison by a step, and there's 2 away. That brings up Earl Batty. Pitch from Sanford. Ground ball to Davenport. To Cepeda. And the Twins go 1, 2, 3. So after 3.5, it's the Giants 5, Twins 0. Sanford gets his 4th fatigue point. Here's Boswell. He's going to face Sanford here. Sanford's 0 for 1. Pitch from Boswell. And that's a strikeout. 1 away. Back to the top of the order, and Harvey Keene. Keene is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left field. Bob Allison's under that, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. Second baseman, Chuck Hiller. Hiller's 1 for 2 with a couple runs scored. Here's the pitch. It's the next check for Batty. He's a 2, and we roll a 15. And that one drifts into foul territory over near the Giants' dugout. Batty makes the catch. And the Giants go 1, 2, 3. So we got 4 in the books, and it remains the Giants 5 and the Twins 0. Dave Boswell gets the 2nd fatigue point. Jack Sanford cruising so far with a 5-run lead. First batter he's going to face is Don Mincher. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to second baseman Hiller over to Cepeda. 1 away. Second baseman Jerry Kindle. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch from Sanford. And he draws another walk. So another free trip down to first base. And there's a runner there with 1 out. It's going to bring up Dave Boswell. He is also a number 4 hitting pitcher, so we do not have to replace his card. Pitch from Sanford. Boswell squares the bunt. And he rolls that one back to Sanford. His only play is at first base. So Kindle moves up to second. And he'll be there in scoring position with 2 outs. And brings us back to the top of the order in Zoilo Versalis. Versalis is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Sanford. And that is a fly ball to deep center field. That sends Willie Mays back to the track. It's over his head, off the wall. Kindle rounds second. He's going, or excuse me, rounds third. He's going home. He's safe. And the Twins are on the board on a 2-out RBI double by Zoilo Versalles. And it's now 5-1. Sanford picks up his 5th fatigue point. So we got a man on second with 2 outs, and Jimmy Hall. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout. 3rd strikeout for Sanford, gets out of the inning. But not before the Twins pick up a run on that RBI double. And after 4.5, it is now the Giants 5 and the Twins 1. Sanford picks up fatigue point number 6. First batter that Dave Boswell is going to face here in the bottom of the 5th is Felipe Alou. Alou is 2 for 2. Pitch from Boswell. Ground ball to third baseman Don Mincher, or excuse me, no, Harm Killebrew over to Don Mincher for the first out. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th, and Willie Mays here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Boswell. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Next is Orlando Cepeda. Pitch from Boswell. That's a 2-out single. Second hit for Cepeda in this game. He rounds first, but he's going to stay there. So he's there with 2 outs. And Jim Davenport, who's 1 for 2. Pitch for Boswell. And this is a deep fly ball to right field. Tony Oliva is back to the track, to the wall. It's way up, out of here, gone. A 2-out, 2-run blast from Jim Davenport, and it is now 7-1 in favor of the Giants. The Candlestick faithful are going nuts. And Boswell picks up 2 more fatigue points. So 2 outs, bases empty, courtesy of Jim Davenport. And Tom Haller, here's the pitch. That's a ground ball to shortstop Versalles, over to Don Mincher for the 3rd out. And that'll do it for the Giants here in the bottom of the 5th, but not before they pick up 2 more runs on Jim Davenport's blast. And after 5 innings, they now lead 7-1. Boswell gets another fatigue point. He's at 5. So Sanford got that run back plus an extra one. As we go to the top of the 6th, score is 7-1 in favor of the Giants. Leading off, Tony Oliva. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to first base. Cepeda's going to take that unassisted. There's 1 down. That brings up Harmon Killebrew. He's 0 for 2. Pitch from Sanford. Ground ball to shortstop. Pagan to Cepeda for the 2nd out. 2 outs, nobody on. And left fielder Bob Allison. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Hey, and they get him looking. Strikeout number 4 for Jack Sanford. Twins go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. And after 5.5, it's the Giants 7. And the Twins 1. Dave Boswell's back out here for the bottom of the 6th, but there is some activity out there in the Twins bullpen. It's Jim Merritt warming up. And it'll be Jose Pagan starting things off for the Giants here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Boswell. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3. For Mr. Boswell, there's 1 out, nobody on. Jack Sanford comes to the plate. Pitch from Boswell. And Sanford bloops that one over Don Mincher's head, and it is a 1-out single for the pitcher. So he's on first with nobody out. Excuse me, 1 out. Back to the top of the order for the Giants and Harvey Keene. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to shortstop. That's going to be Versalis to Kindle to Mincher for the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. And that's it for the Giants. So 6 innings in the books. And it's the Giants 7 and the Twins 1. Boswell will pick up another fatigue point. So his day is probably done. He's at 7 as a reliever. Jack Sanford's cruising along mostly. He's out here for the top of the 7th. Let's see here. I'm missing some stats for myself. All right. So it's Earl Batty leading things off for the Twins here at the top of the 7th. There's the pitch. And Batty lines that one. Hiller robs him of a base hit. There's 1 away. One out, nobody on for Don Mincher, Twins first baseman. They trail 7-1 here in the top of the 7th. Pitch from Sanford. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Jack. Two up, 2 down. Base is empty. Jerry Kindle. Pitch from Sanford. It's a fly ball to right field. Felipe Alous under that makes the catch. Twins go 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the 7th. And as we stretch them, it's the Giants 7 and the Twins 1. Sanford picks up fatigue point number 7. And we're going to do a double switch here for Minnesota. The new pitcher is going to be Jim Merritt. In 1965, he was 5-4 with a 3.16 ERA. But he's going to bat in the number 8 spot. And entering the game for the Twins. Let's see. It's going to be replacing Kindle. It's going to be Rich Rollins. He'll bat in the 9th spot, so he's going to lead things off here. And let's see. So Jim Merritt's pitching. I should say he'll lead things off for the Twins next inning. Jerry Kindle, his day is done. All right, so let me just get this down here. So it's going to be Rollins, batting in the 9th spot, playing second base. He's a 4. And Jim Merritt will bat in the 8th spot. All right. So Boswell's day is done, as I mentioned. New pitcher is Jim Merritt. And first batter he's going to face is Chuck Hiller. Excuse me, bottom of the 7th. Giants lead 7-1. Pitch from Merritt. It's a ground ball to first base. Don Mincher's going to take that unassisted for the first out. Brings up Felipe Alou. And Alou is 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to third base. Harm Killebrew to Don Mincher. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Willie Mays. Mays is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that is a ground ball to second base. It's going to be an X check for Rollins. And he is a 4. You're rolling 18. Rollins makes a great play out there. Tosses over to Mincher for the third out. Robs Mays of a base hit. Giants go 1, 2, 3. We got 7 complete. And it's the Giants 7, Twins 1. Jim Merritt gets his first fatigue point. Sanford with the 6-run cushion is out here for the top of the 8th. First batter he's going to face is Rich Rollins. Batting in the 9th spot. Pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to third base. Davenport to Cepeda, 1 away. So we're back to the top of the order. Zoilo Versalis. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to third base. Second verse, same as the first. Davenport to Cepeda. There are 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Center fielder Jimmy Hall, who's 0 for 3. Pitch from Sanford. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Sanford jogs towards first base. Tosses to Cepeda. And the Twins go 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the 8th. So after 7.5, it's the Giants 7 and the Twins 1. Sanford picks up fatigue point number 8. Jim Merritt, who is at 1 fatigue point, is going to face Orlando Cepeda. Davenport and Haller here in the bottom of the 8th. There's the pitch. And that's a strikeout. Cepeda swings through that one, and there's 1 away. Here's Jim Davenport, who homered his last time up. Pitch from Merritt. And this is a deep fly ball to center field. Sends Jimmy Hall back. It's way up out of here, gone. 2 home runs in a row for Jim Davenport. And it's now 8-1. That one got out of here in a hurry. And Merritt picks up another fatigue point. So 1 out. Nobody on. Tom Haller, excuse me. Low and outside, and he trots down to first base. So, man on first with one out, Jose Pagan. Pitch from Merritt. And that is a one-out single for Pagan. Runners on first and second, and one out. And Jack Sanford, pitcher, comes to the plate. Pitch from Merritt. That's a fly ball to center field. Jimmy Hall's under that, makes the catch for out number 2. The runners hold. And we're back to the top of the order. Harvey Keene. Pitch from Merritt. And that's a strikeout to end the inning. And that is strikeout number 2 for Merritt. But the Giants do pick up another run on Jim Davenport's second home run of the game. And they now lead 8-1. As we head to the top of the 9th, Merritt gets his 3rd fatigue point. Sanford trying to close this one out himself. He's going to face the heart of the Twins order, Oliva, Killebrew, and Allison. Here's the pitch from Sanford. Man, that's a strikeout. Gets Oliva looking, and there's one away. That's strikeout number 6 for Sanford. Harmon Killebrew. Killebrew's 0 for 3. Pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to second base. It's going to be an X check for Hiller. He's a 3. We roll a 7. Nice play by Hiller as he fires over to Cepeda. And the Twins are down to their last out. Can Bob Allison keep this one alive? Pitch from Sanford. And he does with a 2-out single. Makes the turn but holds at first base. So Allison is at first with 2 outs for Earl Batty. Here's the pitch. Batty gets under this one. It's going to stay in the infield. Hiller's calling everyone off. He's under that. Makes the catch, and this game is over. With a final score of the Giants 9 and the Twins 1. Let's get some totals for you. The Twins had 1 run on 3 hits. They committed 1 error. The Giants 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Winning pitcher, of course, is Jack Sanford, getting the complete game in there, and Jim Kaat gets the loss. So, with that happening, the Giants are certainly front runners now. They're kings of the hill, and they get their record to 8-5. So they got 8 wins here. The Twins drop to 4-6, fall to the bottom. So it's going to be the Giants and the 7-5 1961 Reds in game number 59 of this Oldtimer Kings tournament. That's going to do it for this one. If you hung out with me, I appreciate it. And I'll be back again in the near future with another video. And until then, take care.